I think they want it.
it looks like we are live once again on another purge of the BS. I hope everybody's already here in the chat. I like to give the stream a moment to warm up, make sure that the interwebs are ready for this wonderful purge of the BS. So tonight we're going to get into a few things. We had an interesting week. Some judges got locked up. Shannon Sharp had some problems, y'all know. And there's been a lot of other little headlines, so we're going to cover them all today in another purge of the BS. Now, because it is a Sunday night shutdown, I got to bring my boy Bravo on with me tonight so that I can pawn off some of this purge on another person. So Bravo, would you join me in another purge of the BS, please? Right now.
Yeah, brother. Yeah, brother. Let's go ahead and do this shit, bro. Let's do it.
Yes, it's necessary that this is done tonight. But because this is the purge of the BS, I gotta give them the disclaimer first, okay? Stand by.
This is not a test. This is your emergency broadcast system announcing the commencement of another purge of the BS, sanctioned by the First Amendment. Frustration level 0 to 100 have been authorized for use during this purge. All weapons are restricted. Government officials have not been granted immunity from the purge of the BS and shall undoubtedly receive the smoke. Commencing at the sound of the gong, any and all BS, especially unnecessary goofiness, will be purged without consequence. Police, fire, and emergency medical services will be available, but they will be busy because they will be watching the purge of the BS. Blessed be those who have already been victims of some BS. May God be with you all.
All right. So here we go. Make sure my chat folks are here. I see Al Bond is in the chat already. So we are ready to go. Bravo, you ready?
I should unmute my mic. That usually helps.
Oh yeah, yeah. I just thought you weren't ready, so I was gonna allow you a moment to prepare yourself.
Well, you're right. You're right.
Okay, because sometimes you just don't be ready. You just don't be ready for the purge. Sometimes it happens.
Can't afford that in these days and times, and these days and ways. We can't afford to not be ready, bro.
That is true. That is true. So we're gonna jump right into this purge of the BS. I'm not gonna waste no time with the algorithm because they'll just catch it on the shorts later. If they don't know to be here on a Sunday night at 9:30 p.m. for the wonderful purge of the BS, well, bless their hearts. They'll know next week. So I want to bring back one of our classics has popped back onto the scene, and I do mean pop back onto the scene here. So
What we got here?
Yeah, here it goes, bro.
You don't feel proud. It seems like you sound proud about this one.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you right now, what has occurred here is, do you see who this is?
Jesus.
Do you remember,
you know what? The people never saw that.
Yeah,
people never saw this
right.
episode.
That's right. We never aired that episode. So you know what? This is the people's first time seeing this wonderful person grace the stages of the purge of the BS. But this is
Flesh Grimace.
Who knows? I can't remember the person's name. It's something like Bubbling Licious or something like that. I don't know. One of them names for the folks that you know what the folks are. So
it looks like if a hemorrhoid gained consciousness and bought a miniskirt.
Well, this is a person of the T letter community.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But is apparently very popular, trying to earn their spot on RuPaul's Drag Race. So let's see what we got here. We got music. I could think of some other sounds that I would love to put behind that one. Yeah, I definitely have some other sounds for that.
That's the worst.
All right. So nonetheless,
yeah, I'm sure that burned like 78,000 calories. It's just moving.
So I gotta go to the comments because I believe that we have this issue. It's like we want to be very respectful to people, But we also want to be honest.
No, we don't.
We want to be honest, right? And this doesn't look good.
Are we purging? Are we purging or not?
We're purging. We are this thing is purging. Something's coming out.
All right, go ahead. My bad.
Yeah, we're being nice for the moment. But I wanted you to see the comments. That's what it is. It's about the comments and how supportive everyone is. And wanted you guys to see. Somebody said, I'm going to be face deep in them rolls like it's Texas Roadhouse. And see, these are the kind of things that'll make someone that looks like this feel really good about themselves. Like, you know what? I'm that. And I think that to some degree, that's disingenuous. Am I wrong for thinking that?
If Large Marge from Pee-wee's Big Adventure and the Nintendo hero Kirby had a baby,
Yo,
that's
somebody said this is AI. Nobody looks like that.
Unfortunately, that's a real thing, yo. It is what they call. Yes, it's a land walrus. Yes, it is. It's ridiculous.
So,
like here's the thing. How much do we have to participate in other people's fantasies?
Well, let's see. This guy participated in a blind date with this person. Let's see how that went. Is there audio? Oh, there's audio.
Oh my God.
So where are you
That's
from?
nasty.
Maryland? That's like East Coast, right?
The production's fucking crazy.
Cool. I'm from Arizona.
I'm also gonna run a 20v1 with a lot of people.
Yeah, I just moved down here a month ago.
Oh, you moved down here?
That'd be a good
Is it
one,
like
God.
similar weather?
Right, these guys are talking.
Oh, okay.
This is disgusting, man.
Yeah.
That's not fair. Why isn't she the villain for tricking him?
Cool. Well, I love that.
Why isn't she the villain for this?
25.
Well, you know what? I would agree that she is the villain for this.
I love that.
Exactly. This is what I'm trying to say.
I mean,
you can't claim equality and do evil shit.
Well, you're equally able to perform evil acts.
That means I'm equally able to call you a land beast.
Do you see the shirt?
Yes, she has a sweaty man's t-shirt on. I've seen that gag shirt. Yes. I've seen it.
Okay.
Yes, it's
Enough.
a sweaty dad t-shirt. It's like a chimpanzee belly t-shirt.
Nope.
Yes.
That's where it ends for me, right there. That's it.
See? So how fair do you want to be? How nice do you want to be, sir?
I'm sorry, the comments ain't being nice.
It's Pork Illustrated.
But see, that was a good one. Pork Illustrated is good. That was good. I can't even deny that was hilarious, by the way. Pork Illustrated. But see, here's the thing. It's like you said, to what degree are we responsible for aiding in someone's delusion?
Correct.
Like, I want people to feel good about themselves. I want them to be confident, but I also want them to be honest with themselves. And if you look like this, you got to be honest with yourself.
If this thing was a whole broad, right? It's 100% born broad.
Right.
And looked like that and acted like that. She'd be for the streets. We would have run right through that one. Right?
Somebody's still going to do it. Somebody's still doing it, man.
No, but all I'm saying is that we would have been dragging that one all the way through the sewer.
True.
You know what I mean? All the jokes would have been, it'll been fair game for everything. But because they doing it with a side of tea, that ain't fair. Like, they protect. No, not everybody needs to be protected. Some assholes need to get got.
This is ridiculous.
I mean, ask Diddy.
So I'm just saying, I mean, like I've been asking people this question for years. Like every time we say something, like, to us, this is not attractive. That's a simple statement. That's not saying anything shady. To me, this person is not an attractive person. And it's like you can't say that without them saying that you're phobic.
Oh, you can say that. No, you can say it. No, you can say it. You can say simple things that are factual. Like, if you have more titties on the side than you do in front, that's not sexy.
Right. And see, here's the thing. Just because I don't find this thing to be sexy doesn't mean that somebody else doesn't find it to be sexy. Ooh,
and yes, there's a lot of people with a lot of problems that just don't need to be here.
Don't need to be here. Yeah, well, I'll say this: the folks in the comments didn't disappoint. They did do pretty well.
There you go.
So I thought it was going to be a whole bunch of "I admire your confidence, keep doing what you do." That's what I thought I was going to see, but I saw more along the lines of reality.
But they missed the trick, though. I was waiting for the "oh yeah" post. You know what I mean? I was waiting for the.
Well,
know what I mean?
Kool-Aid is about to be great because they're about to get rid of all of the artificial
the
food
rainbow
colorings.
colors?
Yeah. Oh, no. All the artificial food colorings. You know, the Make America Healthy Again thing, RFK?
But the whole thing is that we have food colorings that work. It's just the other ones were cheaper.
Way cheaper.
So, yeah. So they're literally doing the thing that the EPA has been doing forever.
Right. Trying to regulate some shit.
Yeah,
well, they need to
the
regulate
thing is
this thing that has graced the screen. So you know what?
Yeah. Where is Warren G?
Yeah. All right.
Can somebody regulate?
I can't do it no more. I'm looking at this Michelin Man next to it, and the resemblance is uncanny.
This is disgusting. You know what? It's not gonna be our problem after like 4 years from now because something that size can't survive too long.
Not out in the wild.
No.
Okay. All right. Moving on. Hold on a second, bro. Hold on. Yo.
It's probably the only one that uses female Axe body spray.
Oh my God. Okay. Let's see what else we got here. Okay, we got some smoking. Oh, we got Britney's back. Okay, let's see what's up with Britney. Britney Spears is back in the headlines again. Yeah.
She's not dancing with knives?
Well, I think she is dancing. Let's see what she's doing. Oh yeah, she's definitely dancing. Damn it, with the audio.
Is she making the money or is she letting the money make her, as they said in that great movie?
I'm going to let you see for yourself on this one, okay? And we'll let the folks decide if somebody needs to go check on Britney, okay? Like, I'm being honest.
We need to reinstate her conservatorship?
Maybe. Let's check the video out. All right. So, as you can see, Britney's giving us a very nice look at how she does by herself in her home or whatever this is. But yeah, she's going to do a little dance for us. So Britney, go ahead and do your little dance for us.
What's happening?
Well, I don't know, but she probably had pants on at some point and they came off.
Yeah, that stance looks very pre-dump. Like,
well, let's see what she does. Let's see what she does. Let's see what she does. She's trying to be sexy. Oh, bravo. Wow. She's trying to be sexy. Let's be nice. I turned the music down a little bit so we don't get the copyright strike, but uh-oh.
Yeah, what I'm saying is that okay, look. I'm not even mad at it. If she's dancing and she's doing her thing and she's trying to keep but she is like a multi-millionaire, bro.
Right.
She can get at least an iPhone. Like she's like, I think she's filming with an actual potato. I think she's filming with a potato.
Uh-oh. Okay, Britney.
Nah, Britney. You dangerous.
You know what this reminds me of?
You can't be this.
You know what this reminds me of? You ever seen the movie Silence of the Lambs?
Yes.
When the dude is like dancing, like, would you fuck me? I'd fuck you.
I'd fuck me.
Yo, I swear that's what she looks like to me right now.
Is she dancing so she doesn't get the hose again? Is that what's happening? She's dancing so she doesn't get the hose.
Somebody's behind the camera like, dance, Britney, dance. From behind the camera like, you better dance. Yo.
You better dance like your life depended on it. Oh,
what's happening to the stars, man?
Okay, so here's my honest take.
Poor little Britney.
Her moves aren't bad.
Not too bad. She's in her 40s, right?
She is. No, and her body is great. She's sexy. This just looks like a hostage video. I'm gonna say it. It looks like a hostage video, dog. Like it's like to the class of person she is, to what she's presenting, that shit don't match.
So
you know what I mean?
Are you saying
we need to count the blinks?
Blink twice if you need help. Oh my gosh. Yeah, you know what? I'm just saying, I think maybe somebody should go check on Britney. see what's up.
Right.
Because this kind of seems to a degree beneath her as far as content to put out. And
this is what I'm saying, yo.
She looks like
she's
been crying
filming
a little
with right. She looks like she's filming with a My First camera and a flashlight. It's not a good look. And if that's the aesthetic she's going for, do another one, please. Because that's not
Yeah.
I mean, look, I'm not only gonna front. Her body's banging. She's kept it together.
Yeah.
She's had a couple of kids.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? She's still athletic. She dances better than I do because I'm not willing to do that much work for any kind of video.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Right. So she gets props there, but the presentation is just cheeks, bro.
Oh, man. All right. Well, let's just hope that Brittany's okay. All right. But other than that, Brittany, I appreciate you trying to do your little dance for us. We appreciate it. Us old heads, we appreciate it a little bit, a little bit.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, sure.
What does the world come to when two black men in this administration are worried about a rich white girl?
Yeah, we're worried about the rich white girls because they're going through it right now, as you can see.
This is crazy. Exactly. Yeah, DEI is done. So
upside down. World is upside down. It's upside down. I'm worried about the little white girls. That's why Shannon Sharp. You see what I'm saying? I'm worried about the little white girls, man.
Oh, see, he did that. He did that. That's his problem, man.
Yeah, that is his problem.
That's his problem.
Boy,
that is definitely his problem.
They used to put us up for stuff like that.
He was trying to overprove something. Just hang out with gay guys if you like. You ain't got to overprove nothing, man.
He definitely tried that.
You got
one.
charges.
All right, but we're gonna get off of Brittany.
Don't nobody accidentally fuck on Instagram.
Yeah, exactly. I haven't gone live accidentally ever in my whole life. Like I've never accidentally gone live on no forum ever. So anyway, so Brittany's we're done with Brittany. Let's get off of Brittany, okay? Let's get off of Brittany because she needs our help, not our hurt. Okay. All right. All right. Let's see what we got next. We're running right through them today. Okay, we got something that says Diabolical Debbie. Wonder what that's about. Diabolical Debbie. I think it might be racist. It might be racist. I feel like it's got racism in it.
Is it Little Debbie Moon Pies?
No, it's on X and it says Diabolical Debbie. I guarantee it has some racism in it. So prepare yourselves to be. Well, X is a place where people can say a lot of really dumb stuff. So it gives you a good temperature gauge on how many racist ass people there are just randomly on the internet at any point in time.
You know what? And you're right. I really should have listened to what was fucking going on X before the election. I wouldn't have been so butthurt. You're right.
Yeah.
You are absolutely right, sir.
Yeah. A lot of racism. So this story, okay, the Diabolical Debbie, I'm looking at it now. Apparently a woman accused a man of kidnapping or attempting to kidnap her child, and he had done nothing. So that sounds pretty diabolical. Let's see the story. Hold on a second. Check out this story.
Sounds like every week in America.
Yeah, well, let's see what it's talking about. Let's see what we got.
Let me guess, the guy was black?
Well, he wasn't. He was brown. Let's see what we got here. So it's a news story, so we'll run it. Let me turn the sound up. Inside Edition.
Of a terrible crime.
All right.
Snatching a little boy at Walmart. The mother's accusation was disturbing.
Did someone try to take you from Mommy?
Yeah.
Caroline Miller says it started when the shopper asked where he could find Tylenol at a Walmart in Atlanta.
It's over there. And as soon as I did that,
Walmart's a devil,
that's when he just picked him up out of my arms.
What followed, she said, was a tug of war over the kid. She called 911.
I was in the Walmart and I had to rip my baby out of some other man's hands because he was trying to snatch him.
Someone trying to snatch your baby?
Yes.
56-year-old Mahendra Patel was charged with kidnapping and simple assault. But this newly released surveillance tape appears to paint an entirely different picture, showing Patel asking Miller about the Tylenol. And you can see her pointing toward the drug aisle.
What is going on there? Because that is the point where she is alleging he was trying to grab her son and she was pulling him back.
her children are sort of hanging off of this cart, and you see Mr. Patel almost lean in to help. And then moments later, literally split seconds later, she starts to rise to point out the Tylenol. Then within 1 or 2 seconds after that, you see her in a screen laughing with another gentleman.
Tape shows that minutes after she claimed he tried to kidnap her son, there was a subsequent encounter where Patel shows the woman he found the Tylenol. He then checks out, stops to talk to an employee, then leaves.
I think it's crystal clear from the video. You can see that there's no assaulting conduct. You can see there's no battery. You can see he doesn't actually take the child from the mother.
Wait a minute. How do you just come up with that kind of stuff like out of nowhere? Like, how do you go to Walmart?
Listen, I'm going to tell you exactly what this is. I'm going to tell you exactly what this is.
What is this?
I'll tell you exactly what this is. Okay, so let's set the scene here. We're in a fucking Walmart, and we have some lady in her 30s.
Yes.
Who is fully able-bodied, but says she needs the goddamn card.
That's because she had the kids. She wanted the kids to ride.
That's victim layer number one.
Okay.
Now somebody came up to her and she needs people to sympathize with her more. So she blames a dude, not realizing that there's cameras everywhere, so she can get more victimhood. You know what I mean? And be able to feel important by being traumatized by some other shit. I'm sure she can walk. I'm sure she has no issues. And I'm sure that she has used other people to feel important for the most of her life.
This is pretty diabolical. I can see why they called it a diabolical Debbie. Like, I'm just imagining, and you know, I'm a rational person, so that's my first problem right there, is I be thinking from this. When I get up to go to Walmart, nowhere in my brain am I thinking, if anybody comes around me, I'm calling the police. Like, if anybody asks me where the aspirin is, or anything.
I'm just saying this. Look, I think that you should be guilty, or you should face the same amount of time that you accuse somebody of if you falsely accuse them of something.
Right.
That's what I think. I think it should be reciprocal. If you choose to accuse somebody falsely of kidnapping your kid, whatever the sentencing is, guidelines for that, you deserve the same back. And not just false reporting, which gives you like a slap on the wrist, a fine, and maybe 2 years or some shit. No, you deserve the fucking 5 to 10 that kidnapping would give you. That's what I say.
Okay, well, I would tend to agree that you should be somehow punished for not only lying, but like blatantly lying. Like, it wasn't even a misunderstanding. No. It just didn't even happen. She just came up with a whole story, then had the baby lying. You heard that part? Did that man try to take you from mommy? The baby's like, yeah. Man, diabolical. Diabolical,
this
man.
Is bad. This is bad, yo. White people going crazy. Y'all okay? White people, y'all just won. Y'all okay?
I thought
like,
they
this
won.
is not enough?
Apparently not. Now they just trying to send people to jail for no reason.
They found out that they weren't on the winning side. They just helped people.
Right. Okay.
Gotcha.
All right. Well, we're through with diabolical Debbie. I hope they do press charges on her and she literally goes and sits in jail for a little bit. That'd be cool. I'd appreciate that.
Yeah. I want her on the other side of the glass from her children. I need her to see that because I need her to feel that problem.
Yeah, that's messed up.
And it is a brown dude. Like, that's the easiest victim.
Old brown man, though. Like, what an old man want with kids other than, like, nastiness? So it's automatically you'll perceive, he was going to do something nasty to them kids. Because old people don't want to take care of kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't want to kidnap them because they lost their son years ago or something like that.
I'm gonna be a little prejudicial here. Mm-hmm. He's an old Indian man.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, I don't know how many Indian men you know, but Indian men usually don't take care of kids in general.
Yeah, that's not their bag.
You know what I'm saying?
That's not their bag.
That's not their bag. They are providers from day one. That's what they do.
That's what they do.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what they do. And they're like, you take the kids to the zoo. Are you coming?
Right.
You know what I mean? That's how it goes. That's how it goes.
Right.
So the thing is, she didn't even do her research.
Yeah, she picked she should have picked a regular black guy. Maybe she didn't know the difference.
She should have put a pick the Puerto Rican because Puerto Ricans love their kids.
Or
mom.
pick one of the illegals because the illegals are easy to blame on stuff.
Right.
Now. Yeah, you just find one of them.
Central America, they are about them kids. Dads, moms, alike. They are about them kids. So yeah, okay, that might have worked.
Diabolical Debbie.
An old Indian dude.
Yeah.
Come on.
All right. Well, we're through with these guys. Hold on. All right. We're running through here. Here we go. Let's see what's next here on. I don't know what this means because we're about to get to our serious stuff. We're still in our, I guess you would say. I
love how the show is a surprise even to you.
Yeah, because the headline captions are meant to be vague on purpose. I need the natural reactions.
I love
this.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It makes it fair for me. You see what I'm saying? All right, so this one says smoking at the wrong time. Wonder what that's about. Okay.
I'm thinking a plane is involved.
Yeah, that sounds about right. A plane involved, smoking at the wrong time. That would be, no, I see what this is. Okay, so apparently a black man, which they could have just said a man, but they say a black man on video court.
Have to say that.
Yeah, he goes on video court with the judge and decides to take a pull of that wacky tobacco while he's on the screen. Let's check it out, please. Hold on. Yeah, we got to see this. All right, let's see what we got here. All right, so we got the judge, we got the guy. Let's full screen it here so everybody can see.
Oh, not the same judge.
Yeah, the one that caught the guy with the driving.
Yes.
Who was, what is going on in his county? What is wrong with people over there? In that county.
Is this like Mississippi or Detroit
it's somewhere.
Or where is he
one of them southern states. I have to look it up. Let's look at the clip first. Let's see what we're talking about here.
Hold on probation for like 30 years. You didn't have me on probation for 30 years, Your Honor. All right? So, I mean, get me up on probation, man. Like, I ain't did nothing. Like, I'm trying to do the best thing that I could, you know what I'm saying? Like, the kids don't deal with me no more. I mean, I'm trying. So,
Yo, he is really doing this.
I'm trying to find a job. So what we going to do about this?
Defendant remanded to the Washington County Jail to serve 10 days for examination.
Yo, I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready. All right, here's the thing. This is
he deserves everything he got, dog.
He couldn't wait.
No, what you mean us? You mean us?
Well, I mean, this is America, man. This is us. These are American people.
All of this is him. Nah, America is a tapestry of individuals. You know what I'm saying? And that's an individual right there doing some dumbass shit.
Yeah, he is. We'll just. It's funny. The judge doesn't even say nothing. He just says, "You got to come to jail." See, this is the thing. If I'm on remote jail or like remote court, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to just turn myself in that easily. Like, y'all gonna have to come get me. Oh, that's all. Y'all gonna have to come pick me up.
The reason he put the 10 days on it because he's like, that's how long you have before it becomes a warrant. That's what he said. That's why I said 10 days. 10 days to remit yourself.
30 years. You didn't have me on probation for 30 years, Your Honor. All right. So
the pull after the pull, that's what made me laugh. He wasn't even trying to hide it, yo. Look at this. Look at it.
So
he hit him with the.
So
yo.
I mean, get me up on probation, man. Like, I ain't did nothing. Like, I'm trying to do the best thing that I could. You know what I'm saying? Like, the kids don't deal with me no more. I mean, I'm trying. So,
Yo,
this nigga said, "Give me your probation."
I'm trying to find a job.
So what we gonna do?
So what we gonna do about this?
Defendant remanded to the Washington County Jail to serve 10 days for examination.
Yo, come on, Your Honor, damn. 10 days. 10 days ain't that bad. That's a week and a weekend. He'll be all right. So there is no sympathy for this gentleman. I have no sympathy for that gentleman at all.
None at all, dog. None at all. And I'm just tired. I'm just tired of folks like us
that look
doing
like
shit like this.
Folks
that look like us doing shit like this. And I understand that there is, I mean, there's redlining, there's divestment from communities and educations, there's erasing people from history, like they're literally doing right now.
Right.
I understand all of those things, the systemic things. I get it, but goddamn, you don't need to smoke weed in court.
Right. Like you
if you're remote.
Right. Remote. You couldn't just hold tight for 5 minutes. Oh my God. It's so sad. It's so sad. But you know what? What are we supposed to do with these guys? Like, if you think about it, this video actually has right. The video actually has two sides of an opinion on it. You've got a black person who has done at least some good in his life and become a judge.
Right.
And then you got this other guy who's smoking weed on the camera, and you say to yourself, which one of these people do you want to end up being more like? You would probably go with the judge. Right. You see what I'm saying? Because he doesn't seem as stupid.
You know what? You want to know something else that's crazy? I'm going to take it back to some old shit. Think about it like this. The man on the left of our screen is fucking up. The man on the right of our screen has done everything he's supposed to do. And unfortunately, the man who's fucking up came in front of him.
Mm-hmm.
Now he has to send this man to jail.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of reminds me of somebody who just ran for president.
Now I got to send him to jail.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, but that was being used against that candidate. Say, oh, he just your whole job was sending black people to jail. That's just who came in front of me, and I just good at my job.
This nigga came right
You know
back
what I mean?
with the weed, Joe. Look at this.
He hit twice during the shit. He hit it twice. Why'd he do the card pull out? Why'd he do the second pull though?
I don't know. He didn't care. And you know what? Screw this guy. I'm done with this guy. Forget this guy. On to the next
Damn,
one.
y'all.
Through with this guy. Jesus. Oh. Well, we started with Gorlock. You know, there's been a lot of ignorance. There's been a lot of ignorance so far. Yeah. And, you know, we spread it around. We spread it around. It's not just black people, you know, like Candace Owens used to do. Candace Owens used to only do black people. So we're not that. We spread it around. Okay?
Right.
We're fair with the smoke. Smoke is not discriminatory on this show. But all right, let's see who we got next. That was smoking at the wrong time. All right. That makes sense.
That's
okay.
I would say this is a word that I want to say, but it's kind of like being late more than once. So you're tardy once, and then if you do it again,
it's a pattern. That's what you are. You're that.
You would say, because other time will be a repeat, but you can't say re and then refer to tardiness at the same time without being canceled.
All right. Well, all right. So our last layup line here. I mean, I don't. This one says sperm race.
Wait, but before we go into that, you know what I mean? Likes cost y'all nothing, man. If y'all digging the show so far, you know what I mean? Drop a like, drop a thumbs up. You know, let us know what you want to hear next.
Yeah.
Work in the comments.
Yeah. I'm telling you, man. It's been the folks sending stuff on X and the other forums. I get Instagrams, Facebook stuff, but a lot of the Facebook and Instagram stuff has music behind it, so we can't really use it on YouTube. So that's the only problem with that stuff, because there's some pretty good stuff on Facebook that comes across.
That Twitch is coming though. That Twitch is coming though.
Yeah, well, Twitch has hit me with that too. Twitch doesn't want you to play any music on that either. So.
Word? Since when? I thought they did like album reviews and shit on Twitch.
See, this is what I'm trying to say is I haven't figured out what to do with that. I want to review music, but every time I have any music in there, they hit me with a thing other than the music that's in that YouTube library that they provide, which is 95% of it is whack, and the other 5% you get tired of after a while. So It's like, I don't know. If anybody knows, please let me know what clearance you need. If anybody's in the chat, anybody comes through this video later, what clearance do you need to be able to actually review music without them hitting you with a copyright every time you review a new song? And you got to go through 3 days of waiting for them to try to release it, and then they say no, ad revenue paid to the copyright holder. That's what they come back with to me. So the whole video that's 2.5 hours, I play 30 seconds of somebody's music, the ad revenue all of a sudden goes to that person. Stupid.
It's that snatchy grabby bullshit,
man. That's
man.
how they do, man.
Somebody let us know.
Yeah.
Drop a comment. Yo, put us on game. Let us know.
Please. So this next one says sperm race, bro. So apparently,
did he? No, did he?
No, apparently what's happened is, I guess with the fact that football season's over, college basketball's over, and the NBA is pretty much garbage these days, people needed something new to gravitate towards. So they're racing sperm. Don't believe me? Okay. Yeah, no. Don't say nothing. I'll let you see the clip. And then
reading books is an option.
Well, no, but they want a sport. They need something they can bet on. And apparently
speed reading is an option.
Apparently you can bet on freaking sperm racing. So let's check out the sperm race.
What? Just
all right. Here it is. So let's just start with the fact that there's a lot of people in the crowd.
There's a crowd?
There's a crowd. So the racers,
what is happening?
They place a sample of their sperm. I wonder if they take the sample right before they get on the stage, hands still a little moist, you know what I'm saying?
They have to because they don't survive that long.
That's true. It has to be recent. So yeah, they place their sample under the microscope and race to the finish line. So let's take a look.
Imagine the stage fright of the performance anxiety of having to jerk off just with a crowd on this side. Everybody's gonna see it.
Right. Wow. But here's the thing: if you get your sample to come up too fast, would people joke you for that? Like, yo, dude, it only took you 30 seconds. Like,
he was like, "Look, I'm efficient."
Yeah. All right. Well, let's see what these little speed racers
make
do
things
here.
happen. I don't know.
Said play it. Dewdrop in the chat. Thanks for stopping in the chat, Dewdrop. I done tried a few things with the music thing. I've even tried using pink noise in the background to throw off the audio file. They still seem to come back and come at me with it. So, but I see people do it all the time. I've seen DJ channels on YouTube. Now, granted, they don't have the crowds that the sperm race has in this video, but I've seen DJ channels. So let's see what the sperm race is about. Everybody prepare yourselves, because it's coming.
Oh.
Literally.
Yes.
Nice. I see what you did there.
One!
More music. Shit. All right, so apparently they go around a little maze here.
This is enormous. Jimmy is off to the races. This might not even be close. Oh
my God. This is ridiculous.
The feminist, the 800 credit score. Jimmy is long gone. No, his swimmers aren't even on the screen. This is a microscopic class.
I don't.
Tag! Jimmy! Tag!
Yo, this first dude, his swimmers
This
are
is
swimming.
kind of crazy.
It is, but I kind of see where this might have a thing.
I can
Look
see
how
where this
big
is going.
yo.
I just do not like. I don't like looking at this.
Yo, I just want you to take in the picture that I've paused this on. They have
Sheer
these,
enormity of this event.
Yo, they have these gentlemen's faces on a poster like a boxing match. So that means that they've had to compete with other seamen men.
Right.
And they've won against the seamen men. And now they've got their faces on a billboard because of the speed of their semen.
No matter what the prize is, no matter how famous you get, everybody knows you just jerked off.
Like it just happened. Within the
Like it
last
just
5
happened.
minutes. Yes.
Right. Like okay, when somebody wins against somebody else, what do you do at the end? Do you fist bump? Because you sure as hell ain't shaking hands.
Yeah, and here's the thing: they got scales here, like like they weighed in. Like, did they have to weigh how much sperm they put in there? Like,
like what? How much they lighten their own load afterwards? Like, I don't what? No, yo, like let's stop. Let's
I just the sheer, like you said, the enormity of the event is what's throwing me off. Like, I thought it was just gonna be something goofy, but look, these guys are really taking their time. They got microscopes, they got latex gloves on. They're really into this thing, and they're watching these guys come. Oh my God, this is not a good thing. This is nuts.
This is not. Yeah, it definitely is.
This is nuts.
It definitely is.
Wow.
What is the world coming to?
That's a good one. That's a good one. I see where you went there.
Right, exactly, man.
Yeah, this is a mess.
It is, man.
Yeah, this needs to be
it is splashed all across the screen.
Yo, this is real. Dewdrop, this is real. It's not real. Is it not real? This was real. This is real somewhere else. I don't know what country it is.
This is a real thing.
But
these people, look at these people. Look at these people in the background. They just jerked off before they became famous.
Yeah, they just.
And it's not going to work for them like Ray J.
So I thought it was AI at first, but no, this is real. This is real. So I don't know what country it is, but if you think you got some strong swimmers, you might want to go over there and get some money. Because
it is AI. It is AI. It's automatic insemination.
Yes, it is, and it's actually. I think my swimmers might be pretty good at this sport. Just
man, it depends. It depends on if it's during the weekend or during the work week. Because during the weekend, all my swimmers are drunk. That's how I'm gonna just tell you that right off the break.
Hey, they be the ones that definitely get somebody. They'd be the best swimmers when you drunk.
It's crazy how that works. Because I can remember every date night my kids came about.
So nonetheless, this is where we are, guys. People have gotten so bored with life that they're racing their sperm against each other. Competition, man. It's a competition. Okay, competition. All right.
Okay, look.
All right.
I really appreciate the comments, but it's so funny that Dewdrop comes up during this.
Right. This is where you step into the room, huh? When
I appreciate you're famous, Dewdrop.
Yeah.
Appreciate you, yo.
Yeah.
Like, look at you.
Right there.
Look at your handiwork. Literal handiwork.
Oh my gosh. These guys look like they're like Filipino or something. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I should look into it further. No. I don't really know if I want to look any further into this. It seems like I might end up in a place I don't want to be.
No, Diddy.
Yeah, it seems like I'll end up in a place where I don't want to be.
You don't.
Like, how do they do the trials?
Like,
how do they do the trials?
Like, how do you spar?
It's all sword fighting. It's all sword fighting and fencing. Oh, all right.
Right.
I have come to the point of completion.
Do they test for performance enhancement? Do they test for PEDs? Penis enhancement drugs? Like, do they?
That's a really good question.
I'm just saying.
Like, what if your count is low? What if your count is low? Do they need you to have a certain count in order to compete? Like, what if you only got two or three?
What if you have a low count, but you really like nose candy?
Right. Yo. All right. I have come to the point of completion with this clip. We are done with these guys. We're through with them. I'm done. I'm done. All right.
Get the rag.
Yo, Dewdrop had to hit us with the one last super comment here. If you win that race, you end up on child support. How true is the dew on that one? You know what, Dewdrop? This gong is for you, okay? You get the gong for that one. All right, so guys, I think we have come to the point in our show where we get a little more serious. We're getting to the climax here.
Getting to the point.
Yep.
All the way to the back.
Yep. Takeoff point, rocket ship. The New Glenn. All right. So, all right. Let me see what we got here. Let's see what we got. All right. We got that. We got that. Oh, yeah. We got to get to some serious shit, sort of. All right.
Okay.
We're going to go sports first. Then we're going to go to politics, and then we'll be done. Okay? So we're going to go to sports.
I love sports ball.
Yeah, since we're in sports right now, because it was the semen race or the sperm race, we're going to stay in sports. Do you guys know who Shedeur Sanders is? In the chat? All right. Well, I'm going to give you some backstory here. The NBA, NFL draft just happened, and Deion Sanders has two sons. One who is a little more well-known, that's Shedeur Sanders, and then there's Shiloh Sanders, right? They both went for the draft, and everybody was expecting Shedeur Sanders to go earlier in the draft, but he didn't go early, and so the NFL, I keep saying the NBA, it's all the same ownership, honestly, but the NFL decided that they were upset. Well, not the NFL, but the commentators decided that it was all racism. So I'm going to play a clip from Skip Bayless. Remember, Skip was in trouble a little while ago because he
with Shannon.
Didn't I tell you? Didn't I tell you they was coming for Shannon next? Nobody listened to me when I said it. I said, yo, they coming for Shannon next. He next. And here he is. And then they're rewinding it to stuff that happened at the Fox Sports one.
Dewdrop is saying that they pranked him, but let's see.
Well, they did prank him. They did prank him early on. Some guys from Ole Miss actually pranked him and called him and said, you got to wait a little longer. But it turned out to be true. He did have to wait a little longer. He ended up having to wait 6 rounds, I want to say. But I'm going to play the Skip Bayless thing. Yeah. I'm only going to play a little bit of Skip because Skip gets on my nerves now. But he said something to the NFL, so I want y'all to hear what he said to the NFL. All right? Just hold on a second.
All right, let's go.
Let's do it. Because we got a conversation to be had.
Okay, I'm with you.
There's a conversation to be had here, okay? So this is Skip. You see him with his hat and trying to be cool. Uh-oh, he's upset.
I am worn out from watching the first 3 rounds of the NFL draft. Pick after pick after pick, starting with the 2nd overall pick. I was on the edge of my seat waiting for his name to be called because he is him. He is it.
Really?
He should have gone 1st overall.
Bold.
And the NFL should be ashamed of itself for what it has now done over 3 rounds of the draft to Shedeur Sanders. I'm worn out because I'm so sickened and I'm so saddened over what this league just did to this kid and in turn to his father. I've been doing this for a long time.
Maybe that's the reason.
You can look at my track record on the draft.
Saying. That's what we're going to get into.
I'm pretty good, especially at the quarterbacks. At picking the quarterbacks. I would have taken Shedeur Sanders 1st overall, and I dug in on this before the college football season even started.
All right, Skip, stop banging on the desk. Nobody's scared of you. He needs to stop that. He's trying to be formidable, but he's not. He's an old,
he's not.
Maury Povich-looking guy. Like, nobody's worried about Skip. But anyway, I'm going to let him go for another minute or two. But you see where he's going. He's upset.
2nd overall if I were the Cleveland Browns. I definitely would have taken him 3rd overall if I were the New York Football Giants. It was outrageously obvious that he's the best thrower of the football in the draft. He's the best pure passer in the draft. He's the toughest college quarterback I have ever witnessed.
Whoa. I'm not saying he ain't good, but toughest college quarterback ever witnessed? Really? You do remember Michael Vick existed at Virginia Tech and was throwing 70-yard bombs. But I'm just saying that's a bold statement.
I mean, like even outside of the shade. I mean, like, look, even though I do not like him, Roethlisberger was never no punk.
Right. Right. That is true.
He was never no punk.
No punk.
You know what I mean?
I mean, I'm just saying.
Yeah, so let's go.
I don't know, best
over
ever.
and over. Watched every snap he took for 2 years at Colorado. The most deadly accurate thrower of the football in all of college football has not been drafted over 3 rounds. The clutchest quarterback I saw in all of college football, again and again and again, has not been drafted for 3 effing rounds of the draft. Why is that? Is it about football or is it personal? The NFL should be ashamed because
you answered your own question, bro. Stop it.
Mm-hmm.
Stop virtue signaling,
Shador
bro.
and his father got blackballed, or if you want to call it whiteballed, call it whiteballed.
Skip, I'm gonna need you to never say white balls again out your mouth.
Nah, not with that hat on.
Yeah, white balled. Okay, so maybe he got white balled. Okay, whatever. This is what. So let me pause it here for a moment. So this is where the conversation is gone, because I guess when Skip made this video, it had only been 3 rounds because it took a couple days for the draft to be over with. But he did end up going in the 6th round, 144th, I want to say it was 5th or 6th round. So instead of going in the first, top 3, he went in like the bottom area. And I have my own feelings as to what that is. I don't believe it was just some racial thing. I don't believe he was the best college quarterback ever either, because I did watch a lot of Colorado games because Deion Sanders was out there and it was always, it was a good game. But
you know what this is?
I'm gonna tell you.
You know what this is? Well, it's the package deal. It's the package deal, because if his son goes up, he's gonna bring his pop, and they do not want Sanders coaching full-on NFL teams. They don't.
And he'll be on the sideline even if he ain't no coach. They'll try to find a way to keep him off the
Exactly. And everybody be looking at him, and everybody like, yo, why isn't he coaching? Why isn't he coaching? And so that's the whole thing. They do not want Deion to coach any NFL teams. They don't.
But we all knew that Deion was setting this up by coaching his sons in college. He went to 2 different colleges.
He followed them
to coach.
Through. Yes, he followed them through.
So now it's NFL time. So
this is exactly why it's happening the way it's happening. They don't want him because he found a whole new play that they could not do. You know what I mean? That's what they're doing.
Well, I'm gonna give Skip another minute in a second here, but I'm gonna give you how I feel about it. I believe that when it comes to draft picks, right? The higher you are in the draft, of course, the more they gotta pay you.
But
and they didn't want to pay him a whole bunch of money. They didn't want to give him a big contract.
The higher in the draft you are, the worse of the team that you get.
Well, that's the thing.
Because worst teams pick first, right?
That's initially yes. But as you get into the 5th and 6th rounds, them teams have already picked their top people. All teams have gotten their top folks out the way. So 5th and 6th rounds, you get basically the nobodies, as they would call them, the Mr. Irrelevant. And we're going to cover Mr. Irrelevant in a second. If you don't know,
all they were doing was driving. They were just driving his price down.
Yep.
And trying to discourage Deion from coaching in the NFL.
And
that's what they were doing.
I 100% agree with you, because you know what he also did not have. You know what the Sanders kids don't have? They don't have an agent. They don't have a sports agent.
Right.
And I've seen this before. As a Ravens fan, I remember when Lamar Jackson went through this about 2 years ago.
Right.
And he was trying to negotiate his contract, and they kept trying to get him to get an agent. And he was like, I don't need an agent because I don't want the agent to get 30% of my money. I'm the one playing the football. I want the money. And so the NFL I'm not going to say they blackballed him, but the other teams that he could have gone to wouldn't even let Lamar Jackson, who at the time was coming off of an MVP season, they wouldn't even let him train or go to their little camps just to show out, all because he did not have an agent. Not that he wasn't good at the sport. So that's how I believe, is they did the same thing to the Sanders kids, because they don't have no agent. They got their dad. They keeping it all in the family. So they said, you know what? We're not going to let them Negroes get all this money. We'll push him way down in the draft. He'll be lucky to get a 1-year contract out of that. And if he gets injured or he doesn't play and they don't want to keep him around, they'll just trade him around. He'll be at the bottom of the barrel hoping for a shot. So they might have just sabotaged his entire NFL career by doing that.
They
or
did.
at least they
No,
tried to.
What they did was they put a sour note on the beginning of his career because what he does on the field is going to define it.
That's true.
And the thing is, as long as he starts, if they shelve him as a second string, then that's going to be a problem. But if he starts, he'll be fine. He'll be fine. And then guess what? He'll be and if he starts and he's good, it'll be undeniable. Deion's going to be coaching, even if he's just offensive coordinator. Deion's coming.
They don't want Deion to coach. You're right about that. All right, let's let Skip get another 2 minutes in. For some reason, he rants about this for 15 minutes. I didn't know it was that long. I'm not going to subject y'all to that.
Because he ain't got shit else to do, man.
Yeah, I'm not going to subject y'all to that. But I just want to see if he ever hits on the fact of this non-agent thing, because I've seen it happen a couple of times with these football players that want to keep their money.
You watch it to get back to us. What's the next thing?
Whatever it was, they got balled out. They got voted out. It's like a secret memo was distributed. Don't take him.
Yeah.
Let's teach him a lesson.
Right.
Let's teach Deion a lesson.
Check out what Dewdrop just said, man.
Like chat, dog. It's got to be personal because it cannot be about football.
Well, Dewdrop also put in a quick note. Had a family member that got drafted. That person got into it with the coach. Never got to play nowhere else. They have their own secret little group. They do talk. If you think them coaches don't call each other and say, hey, you going to take this guy? That's how they have the trades worked out before the draft even starts. They'll be like, yo, y'all get him because y'all got first pick, and we want him, but we're not going to be high enough up because our team might have been too good last year. So we need the WAC team. We're going to cut a deal with them. We'll get this other player that they want. They'll get the player that we want, plus 2 draft picks or whatever.
Who's surprised at this? Who's surprised that $1 billion industry is rigged? Who's surprised at this? You know what I mean?
I'm not.
Like we keep on being appalled like we think it's supposed to be fair.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's not. It never is. You know what I mean? Because no matter how rich a player gets, you know what I mean, it's somebody cutting his check. Right?
Yeah, it's like it kind of feels like a Colin Kaepernick thing. Kaepernick was not number 1 quarterback, but he could have played at another team and started.
He could have played
a couple
on
years.
Several other teams.
Yeah.
Yes.
And he got blackballed. So the NFL does this. We know this. So everybody should have been expecting it, but they were like, nah, they're not going to do that. This kid's been, number 1 at this. Why? He won the Golden Arm Award or whatever it was. It's kind of like the Heisman Trophy for his conference. Bro. So he did the work. He was a 4-year starter. He started 2 years at Jackson State and started 2 years at Colorado. So he's a 4-year quarterback starter. There's no reason for him to be in those 6th round. It didn't make sense. So
they were trying to devalue him and his lineage. That's what exactly they're trying. Because here's the thing: they are trying. Because the only other dynasty, familial dynasty that I know of in football, are the
Mannings.
Mannings? Right?
Yep.
It's the Mannings. Right? Yep. They don't want that because now if it's the Sanderses, not only will they be better, but they'll have better style and they'll probably have better longevity. Like. Stop playing. They don't want it to happen.
Yeah. Well,
they don't want the history to be erased.
All right, let's give Skip 2 more minutes here, all right?
If we're just doing football, and my friend Mel Kiper has been doing this almost as long as I have, if we're doing football, Mel Kiper, who's no fool, had Shedeur Sanders ranked 5th overall on his big board, 1 notch ahead of Cam Ward.
I wonder if Skip did another video after he
So if it's
had
not
to wait
football,
6 rounds.
what is it? Are there racial undertones here? Racist undertones?
I'm sure he did because
he pulled the race card.
Racism is so hard to sort of grasp and prove, and
no, it isn't.
It's actually pretty.
Stinks. It smells of racist undertones. Of too many white people
He's just not the person to be
league
able to talk about it. That's all.
who just roll their eyes at both father and son at Colorado. I think it's personal because I think they said, we're going to teach Deion a lesson because you can't have a DJ in the locker room before games and at halftime.
People did
I
that.
think they said,
did
let's
that in
teach the
NFL.
father a lesson that you can't let the kid make $3 million a year in college football and drive 3 or 4 different exotic cars and drape himself with all kinds of NFL-style high-pick jewelry, superstar jewelry. You can't let him tap his watch. It's my time. Hey, I'm here to tell you, none of that matters. If you can play, you can play.
There you go, Skip.
Dion was as brash and arrogant as you could get. But he worked hard at his craft, and he was the greatest cornerback ever, and he backed it up. Nobody ever backed up brash and arrogant more than Deion Sanders backed it up. On the football field, on the baseball field at the highest level, on the track and field at the highest level. Greatest athlete I ever saw was Deion Sanders. Deion is not a detriment to his son. He is an all-time positive. Greatness flows through this kid's veins. He's it. He's a winner. He's a leader.
Okay, Skip.
If you spend any time around, he's really a good young man. I don't understand any of this. He didn't interview. Is he
the glazing is getting crazy, though. I mean, I understand that he's on his side, but he's glazing like hard.
Yeah.
It's making me uncomfortable.
Yeah. Well, let me. That was the Skip thing. I'll bring up the story real quick. Bring Skip out of it, because Skip was taking it too far. I don't know how he did 15 minutes on that. I don't even know. But basically, this was him.
That's what he does, Joe.
He didn't get picked in the first 3 rounds. He got picked, I want to say, in the 6th round. So everybody's upset, it looks like, in these comments. But here's a little tidbit. Tom Brady was a 6th round draft pick, and he turned out to be the GOAT. So
this is exactly my point.
Yeah.
I say the skill will do the work. He was undervalued, but they paired his ass with Belichick, and he became the GOAT. Right?
Yeah. So if they pair the Sanders kids with his dad, who really is the reason why they got so good anyway. I mean, I'm sure he put plenty of time and money behind their careers as young men. That's why they're that good. Like, that's why.
And he knew exactly what to do.
Right.
He knew exactly what to do as somebody, as a horse that ran the race. He knows exactly what to do. You know what I mean? It's like if your kids wanted to know how to fucking sing. You know exactly how to, like, okay, so see, these are the standards. Like, you know what to do.
Right.
You know what to tell them.
And see, the thing is, it's like, I get it, but Deion Sanders was very good at the sport, but his son's, like, Shedeur doesn't even play cornerback like Deion did. He's a quarterback, technically. So I just think that they should allow these kids to have what they're supposed to have, you know?
It's about dedication. It's about dedication. The thing is that Deion could teach these kids. He could teach them about dedication to the craft and learning about that. Because you think Deion wasn't in tune with his quarterbacks in order to be the best cornerback? You know what I mean? So I'm like, the dude, like, he knew what was going on that field. And so who's best to teach these kids that have his genealogy in their veins? You know what I mean? So,
well, a few people said that Shedeur Sanders isn't that good. But they also said that about, what was the guy's name? LeVar Ball, when his kids were all trying to go to the NBA, he was trying to get all his sons in there. They said they weren't that good. And at least one of them was pretty good. So,
yeah, one of them was going. LiAngelo, I think?
Yeah, LaMelo, or one of them kids.
One of the ball kids.
One of the ball kids turned out to be pretty damn good, and he's doing all right in the NBA. The other one is in, like, the G League or whatever that league is they got.
Yeah. He'll stay there.
Yeah, he'll be there. But their father being so boisterous, a lot of people said messed them up. But I think he got them an opportunity at the NBA.
But his father never had a career. His father never had a career, like a long-standing, I'm the man on Super Bowl stages type career. Whatever, Big Daddy Ball didn't have that. Correct me if I'm wrong.
And there's a lot of positives in this. You know, a lot of people in the comments being positive, saying, hey, Warren Moon wasn't drafted at all, and he turned out to be a Hall of Famer. So, you know, all you got in the league. So like you said, if you're that good, they can't stop you once you're in the door. Well, unless you try to choke somebody out or beat up the coach or something like that. Then you get blackballed and you're never coming back.
All he has to do is play the game. He just play the game. He'll get recognized. And when he retires, he can start his church and he can lock the doors. And then he can have his...
They just wanted to humble him.
Let me stop. That's a whole different story.
I feel like they wanted to humble him. Right. Like, he's one of the few college kids who hadn't gotten to the NFL yet, and they retired his jersey in the college. Like,
this wasn't about him.
Yeah.
It really wasn't about him. It was about his dad, 100%. This was not about Shador, even in the smallest.
Yeah,
I'm telling you that. I'm telling you that. Because guess what? If Deion did not coach, if Deion was just his major number one supporter and was just living off his NFL retirement and maybe commenting and stuff, he'd have been like he'd have been first round. He'd have been first round, right? But the fact that his dad coaches, and he and everybody knows that Deion's coming along with Shador.
Yep.
That's what's going on.
But people, there's a lot of people that like Deion Sanders that might help a team as far as getting people to come to the games.
Who doesn't like him?
Deion's going to be there. Well, we know who doesn't like him. You know what I'm saying? The ones that want him to be quiet. The ones that didn't want college kids to make money off of NIL deals while they were still in college. Like, that's who doesn't like Deion.
The know your placers.
Yeah, there you go. Throw the ball and shut uppers. Yeah, those guys. I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
So, like I said, everybody is saying that he's overrated, but we'll do it like this. Time will tell, because there's been more than enough players who were either undrafted or drafted late that turned out to be really good players that are now in the Hall of Fame. So we'll go with that, and we'll just see what happens. But they made an example of him, and I believe it was just because he didn't have an agent. Any player that does not have an agent, they normally get the runaround unless they're already a few seasons in, and even then, you'd have to be a few seasons in, have at least a Pro Bowl or two as an accolade, maybe make it to the playoffs once or twice, and now you're a free agent and you don't have an agent, they'll hook you up. But coming straight into the league like that, a lot of people, they're not going to go with that. They need somebody to be able to make money off of you. And they need that agent to be kind of like a handler for you. So if you don't have an agent, it's like you don't have a handler as far as the NFL is concerned, and you're dangerous at that point. You don't have anybody keeping tabs on you. So that's what I think it was all about. I think it's because he wasn't splitting that money with nobody outside of that family.
That's even more to the point, because Deion is his handler. And his coach. They don't want anybody having that much power over their prime, powerhouse. They don't want anybody having that.
I mean, the NFL and the NBA are not the first businesses that nepotism is a thing within. You know what I'm saying? And it's always nice to see. I'm not going to lie. I like to see fathers who play the sport support their kids in that sport, and their kids become good, hopefully better than their fathers. But it's normally not that way. It's like the father came from the hood, struggled, saved his family, and then became a great football player. Meanwhile, the child grows up in the 50,000 square foot house, goes to private school, and so they don't have that dog in them like the parent did.
Right.
And that's
and
what normally
they
is
pull a
missing.
King Harris on
Right,
us.
right.
Yeah,
So same with LeBron's son. LeBron's son is good at basketball, but is he LeBron James? Not even close.
No.
And they want another LeBron James because LeBron James is getting old, so they need the next big thing to be something. It would have been nice to be a son.
Let's pause on that real quick. How much does that hurt to know that LeBron is being considered old when we saw his entire career?
Yeah, right. We saw him coming out. He was fresh. He was going bald in high school, though. He was. That was the funny part.
This is very true. Yeah. We remember Georgetown. Remember old school LeBron. I can remember that shit, like when he was a young boy.
Yeah, he was just a young man, but he was hungry. Coming out of Akron, he was hungry. His kids don't have that same hunger.
And that was also when Drake's career took off at the same time because they did that song.
Yeah.
Right? That Greatest?
There you go. There you go. So, like I said, I hope the best for anybody who's made it to those professional leagues, because the percentages of how many college athletes, and most college athletes played when they were, very young, got good enough to get pulled into a college on a scholarship, and then they've put pretty much their whole life into a sport, and then they don't even get a chance at the draft. So at least the Sanders kids, one got actually drafted and the other one signed with Tampa Bay. So I'm going to keep an eye on him. That's Shiloh Sanders. So I'm going to keep an eye on him in Tampa Bay because Tampa Bay could use some help. And I think that he'll be a good fit for them. And Shador going to the Browns might be a good thing. Unfortunately, he's going to have to play against the Ravens. And I love my Ravens. So, hey, you show up in Baltimore,
all day.
It is what it is, bro. Even though Deion played in Baltimore
That's your
for
ass,
a little
Mr.
bit.
Postman.
Yeah, Deion played in Baltimore for a little bit, and we loved him there when he was there. Yep. But we ain't got no love for you kids if you come back, especially from the Browns. Like, the Browns or the Steelers, there is no passes given if you come back and you used to play for the Ravens. Nah, we don't play that. So nonetheless, I wish him all the best, but I just think it was a little messed up. But let's just keep it real. They didn't want that boy to have all that money because he's already got a whole bunch of money. So they said, we're going to make him work for it.
It was about his daddy, man. It was about his daddy. No one man should have all of that power.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So humble.
That's what it is.
Humbled him down.
With no agent?
And with no agent. So that's what I'm saying. But if he does what we're saying he has now the opportunity to do, which is show everybody how great he really is, it'll be a story they'll be telling for years. They'll be like, remember how low he went in the draft? Same with Tom Brady. So there you go. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. So I saw a couple of his games. He's pretty good. But we're done with him. Let's move on to the next thing.
I ain't see shit. Yeah, I ain't see shit, man.
Yeah. Stop the share here. All right. The fun stuff is over with now. It's time to talk to other shit. All right. So we got some Nazis. We got. Let's just go.
Geez. Are we allowed to even say that on YouTube?
I just did. So we'll see what happens. We're not going to go
with the
Nazis.
Can we say can't see? Can we say blind?
Yeah, we're not going to go with the Nazis today. Oh, you know what? I just want to finish up that story just real quick because the football story, because we were talking about football, and a lot of people don't know what the Mr. Irrelevant award is. The Mr. Irrelevant award, for anybody that doesn't know, it goes to the person who's the last pick of the draft. But they do a big thing for him, so I wanted to give props to this gentleman whose name is Kobe Minor. He won the Mr. Irrelevant
So funny,
award.
his name is Minor.
Yeah.
That is absolutely hilarious. His name is Minor.
So check this out, right? So Mr. Kobe Minor, he is Mr. Irrelevant. So we're going to let them do their presentation to him. Then we'll move into our political piece with Pam Bondi and the judges. And then we're going to get out of here, okay? All right, so.
Thank you, Green Bay, and we've saved the best till last. Woo! Thank you to the person way in the back, the Bob Uecker of the field. Way to hang in there, Green Bay.
They are so excited. They're like, it's finally over.
Woodstock, but this probably is what it looked like, only with friendlier people. Thank you to Green Bay. We like that you're a community event, just like Irrelevant Week. We've been doing it this is the 50th year. You love your team. We love your community. We'd like to thank
Is the guy even
Fran
there?
Orsini
I wonder if the guy's
for
even
being
there.
good to us and feeding us cheese curds and ribs. Go Fran. And McKim at the Union Hotel. He's awesome. All of you have been
she's
great.
really milking that
so
shit.
we'll see you in Newport Beach.
No pun intended.
The final pick of the 2025 draft. We'll see you in Newport Beach. You can visit newportbeach.com or go to the Bay Club. Come party with us. Bring your cheeseheads. We like that. The 257th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft by the New England Patriots is Kobe Minor, a defensive back from Memphis. Go Kobe! Woo!
Kobe ain't
The definition
there.
of taking a flyer on a player here. 3 schools for Kobe Minor. Only started 9 games in his career. No interceptions.
He went home. He probably wasn't thinking he was going to get
started
drafted.
9 games.
Yo,
he
in
only
his
started
whole
9
career,
games.
in his whole college career, he started 9 games.
Right.
And he managed to get drafted in the 7th round. So I don't know if they're going to show a picture of him. I'm amazed that this many people stuck around for all of these rounds of drafting. But yeah, no, they don't show it. They don't even show a picture of him. Well, now I need to know what he looks like.
No.
Hold
It's
on.
irrelevant. The picture of him is irrelevant, yo.
Look, this is his 15 minutes, man. Let's get to him.
Yes.
This is him, Kobe Minor. And he played at 4 different universities.
Okay. First of all, his name is not Kobe Minor. His name is Mos Def.
He does look like Mos Def, don't he?
Oh, he looks like Mos Def.
Wow. Well, he's Mr. Irrelevant 2025. So everybody just give it up for Kobe and Mr. Irrelevant.
Give it up.
Here he is.
Right.
For anybody that doesn't know who he is.
Mr. Irrelevant.
Mr. Irrelevant. Kobe Minor is now going to the New England Patriots at the 257th pick of the NFL Draft 2025. All right.
No, is he like I'm like his size, man. He's taller than me, but
Kobe Minor. So you guys keep an eye out for Kobe.
That's crazy.
When you see him finally hit the field in 3 years on some other team, because that's what'll happen. He'll get bounced around a little bit. Make sure you cheer for him, okay? All right. So we're gonna get off of that. We're done with the football story. So let me get to the other thing. All right.
Yo, dude, Trump said he goes by Moist Def.
Moist Def. Now, here's the thing. I've personally, I'm going to be real. I think it's a little messed up to call somebody Mr. Irrelevant because of their last pick in the draft status. That just seems like,
Thank you, Green Bay.
to
and
me,
we've saved
it's
the
like,
best.
I want to say it's,
that's like saying the least most privileged person in America.
Right. Like the least rich person. The least rich person. There you go.
The last person in the 1%. The last person in the 1%.
Right.
Right before it hits 2%.
Right. Right before you hit that second percentile. So I just think it's
right.
Now, here's the thing. If you were this guy, and I just want to know, would you feel good about being considered Mr. Irrelevant?
Yes. You know why? Because I'm going to be paid probably $330,000 to $500,000 for the single year that I'm playing, and I'll probably start maybe twice. So I would use that money and start a business on the side.
No,
maybe
call
a YouTube
call
channel,
it Mr. Irrelevant,
kind of
whatever. Shit. Like use it, just run with Mr.
Right.
Irrelevant. Yeah, Mr. Irrelevant's podcast.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I feel you on that one.
I would capitalize, man. And when you get a shot, go fucking take that shot.
Yeah,
bro.
I feel like it's like the NFL equivalent of when a dude says, "Well, I still hit." You know what I'm saying? I still hit though.
Exactly.
Like, you know,
exactly.
Like, you might not care about. I might be Mr. Irrelevant, but hey, I still hit.
Right. Exactly. So you talking about me, and I was on TV. When were you on TV?
Right. All right, well, we're going to go into our seriousness first because my booski Candace jumped on the scene again. Okay?
Uh-oh.
And this time it's because she has been going against those people who she initially was aligned with. One of those people was Trump. A lot of people already saw that clip, but it was really her saying more along the lines of the whole free speech thing and fighting with Harvard. It's like that point mostly that she was talking about, not that she like regrets her vote or anything like that, but more where the focus seems to be. And that's fair because a lot of people are saying that. Like, you know, hey, I don't necessarily, you know, a lot of people saying they don't necessarily regret the vote itself, but just the path that things are taking is not what they were expecting. So that could be pride. I don't know. But apparently
they weren't paying attention, man.
Yeah, but apparently, so Candace calls out Matt Walsh. And her and Matt Walsh, I thought they were like good friends. But apparently Matt Walsh and her are now in a beef. Well, not a beef, but you
talking about lady ballers, Matt Walsh? You talking about what is a woman, Matt Walsh?
Yep.
You talking about stirring up a bunch of shit? You
You
doesn't
know-
even know what the fuck he's talking about,
You
Matt Walsh?
know him. You know him. So let's see what Candace had to say about Matt Walsh. You know, it's wild because, like I said, I thought they were friends, but it doesn't sound like she's real happy with him right now.
None of these,
But here's my
none of
bone to
these
pick with Matt
fucking
Walsh.
bottom
We have a
feeders are
long-running
friends.
beef on the topic of NASA and moon landings because he thinks they happened. And listen, when the guys did it, it was fake and gay. I'm sorry, Matt, and it's time for you to admit it. It was just as
please. So she started off hot.
Yeah, she came in a little hot. She said the moon landing was fake right off the top.
Off the fucking top.
Yeah, right off the top.
That's your girl right there.
She's a hard lander. She likes to land hard, man. She comes right into the airport, doesn't listen to air traffic control, picks a runway.
So what's your stance on the moon landing, sir? And dinosaurs.
and
do you think these are real things? Right.
So,
do you think these are real things? Or
well,
not?
let's just, like I said, she starts with that. So in Candace's opinion, if you believe that the moon landing happened, then you are mistaken. That's what she seems to be saying. So we're going to let them have that debate. I just want to hear what she has to say about Matt Walsh. Because, like I said, this
came
is
in smoking,
super
boy.
hot. So let's bring it back. Let's bring it back.
But here's my bone to pick with Matt Walsh. We have a long-running beef on the topic of NASA and moon landings because he thinks they happened. And listen, when the guys did it, it was fake and gay. I'm sorry, Matt, and it's time for you to admit it. It was just as bad. You just weren't alive for it, okay? Homies were on the moon making phone calls before the time of cell phones, like, hey, what's up, Prez? It's me on the moon with the flag. No issues. First time we've ever flown this thing. Yeah, I don't know. We just got through the belt pretty easily. And until Matt Walsh accepts that the mission in 69
is so
was
crazy
also
that
fake and
this
gay,
is
I don't
being
care. I
given a
can't defend you.
platform.
Even if I fully agree with you about Gayle King,
Just
I
keep
won't.
saying
I
fake and
literally
gay.
cannot defend you. Okay, you must come to terms with the fact that NASA and space missions have always been this fake and gay. You just weren't alive for the original ones, and you need to learn the history.
Well, by the way, Candace, neither were you, ma'am. What's Candace, like 30? She's like 30 something?
Yeah, she barely. But here's the thing. Like, as an intellectual, why is your insult it's fake and gay?
Because she found out after she had got demonetized on YouTube that she was allowed to now use the term fake and gay to describe the feeling of something, but not someone's sexual preference. So she's found a way to use the word multiple times. She does it all the time on her show.
I know she does.
Now
she says dinosaurs. Yeah. Dinosaurs are fake and gay.
Fake and gay. Everything's
I'm
fake
like,
and gay.
What?
Now. So I will thank Candace for at least allowing me to know that you can say the word gay without getting canceled all the time. But you just got to be slick about it, which is how she's trying to be, because she's not talking about sexual preference.
It's not. She's drilling it in, and it's dumb.
First of all, don't say nothing about drilling, nothing, and we're talking about what's fake and gay, okay?
Well, hey, dog, fake and gay drilling. That's what she's doing.
Pause. All right, so just like I said, let's let her. Like I said, she came in a little hot.
Let's go.
She coming in a little hot. I just want to hear her say what she got to say about Matt Walsh. She hasn't quite gotten there yet. And I think this was in response to Matt Walsh talking trash about Gayle King and them going to space, and he was talking about how fake it was, and she seems to be saying,
the astronauts.
Not right, yeah, that situation. So
history of NASA, of the Apollo programs, which were occult and satanic. It was literally meant to be an antichrist movement to make people believe in man. It's a fact. I'm going to show you
Stanley mug with lead at the bottom.
Look this up anywhere. Look up Jack Parsons and the Apollo program. They just wanted people to believe in scientific advancement. The guy who created the Apollo program was this guy, Jack Parsons. Can you pull up this clip, Skylar? You know, this is from a podcast, the Science History Institute Museum and Library. This is one of their podcasts, and you scroll down here, and you, again, are probably going to have to make this bigger for my eyes, but at the top here, you know, Jack Parsons was a brilliant rocket scientist, but he lived a wild lifestyle with a devil-may-care attitude. He was pretty relaxed about safety and dabbled in drugs, occult practices, and sex cult rituals. It would all eventually catch up with him though, and quite literally they were throwing these sex rituals, and he believed that he had.
What does that have to do with a spaceship?
And
well, you know, the rockets look like penises. So.
Oh no! Well, Bezos's Blue Origin looks like a straight up rocket cock.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I mean, they've always had the aerodynamic situation. Dropped in the chat that Candace needs some D. Candace is getting plenty of D from her husband. She got like another baby in there right now. I think she's got like 3 kids by now. So she's still holding up the stereotypical black woman having a lot of kids thing, but they're all with the same guy and happens to be her husband. So.
Yeah, he said he wouldn't want to debate her. I wouldn't want to debate her either because she doesn't say the truth. She weaves in false shit so slick and then moves right past it so fast. Because here's the thing: it's hard to debate somebody when y'all can't agree on truth. Like, okay, we're all going to say things that are provable, right? When you can't agree with your opponent that's going to happen, you can't debate with them.
Well, I would not want to have a debate with Candace Owens about moon landings. Like if I had Candace, grace this wonderful platform of mine that we've been building for the last 2 years, I probably wouldn't have a conversation with her about moon landings. And I see now that would be a crazy conversation, and I don't want to have it. But I believe that she believes what she believes. Let me say it that way. I don't think that she's just coming up with this. Like she has been fed information that has made her think
does not. I think that she does not believe it. But what it is that saying what she needs to say to be relevant, to make enough noise, to be salacious, to sell more eyeballs on her podcast. I believe she will say anything she needs to say because she has sat down with Tate and say, I shouldn't even have gotten degrees. How much was it? Hustlers University. I should have just gone there, right?
Yeah, that was
okay. She says whatever she's got to say to get the eyeballs to keep coming back, she's going to say that. And I don't trust anybody who lives that way.
All right, well, let's let her finish her 2-minute thing here. She starts going in about just Jack Parsons guy, which I'm sure I can research if I want to. We'll see. But let's just let her finish.
The devil told him that he needed to create a moon child. Next thing you know, they're telling us we made it to the moon. I mean, you got to look into Jack Parsons and the origin of NASA. Leap. I'm telling you, space has always been exceedingly fake and gay.
Here she goes with fake and gay again.
And it's now fake and gay because the women did it. So go back and watch our NASA episode to learn more about the establishment of the Apollo program and why it's always been a cult and satanic and about devil worship. About the Antichrist. It's just undeniable. It's like a part of history that's just real.
In the realm of science.
I'm challenging you, Matt Walsh, once again, until you say, Candace, you were right. Space is not real. I'm just a guy and grew up with little astronaut figurines and I can't let it go because a little boy in me doesn't want to say no. All right, guys.
That was a diabolical laugh at the end, by the way.
Okay.
That was very diabolical.
Simply put, if space isn't real, where are communication satellites? Where is Starlink?
In Africa.
Like this shit falls apart. She just keeps saying shit to make people mad, so we talk about her.
Yeah.
This is the old school fucking salacious Morton Downey Jr. shit.
Well, you know what? Until I have an opportunity to go check it out for myself, I make no definitive statements about any of that shit. I know that there's definitely a direction you can go up, and it keeps going for a long distance. That I do know. Now, whether or not people are landing and hopping around on stuff, hey, I wasn't there. I ain't got nothing to say about that. But if you think I'm going to believe nobody has shot anything up there that's orbiting the Earth right now and taking pictures all day, well, come on now. We've been into space. Obviously.
That's where those ladies went. They went to the edge of the atmosphere.
Right.
They were in space for like 30 seconds and then came back down.
Yeah.
Like, it's it. You can get up there. You see the curvature of the Earth. You see all of that stuff.
Yeah, the Earth
nobody's gone up there and come back down and said the Earth is flat. No one.
That is true.
One. They just had the final experiment in Antarctica with the 24-hour sun, and the people who just knew the Earth was flat came back and said, "Can't lie, 24-hour sun. That doesn't work with our models.
Yeah.
And everybody in the community just said, no, that's fake and gay. I'm just like, come on, there's only so much you can do to fight science without trying to prove it yourself.
Yeah.
If you're just gonna sit there and throw tomatoes from the backyard, like, go do something yourself. Stop just hating. She's a fucking hater.
I'm
on real
honest
science.
with you. I'll look into this Jack Parsons thing, but it just because a person does a lot of drugs doesn't mean that the moon landing was fake. Like,
correct.
A lot of
There's
people
no
do a lot of
correlation.
drugs.
Right.
So on this one,
right.
Candace is gonna have to get the foom foom fadoom. She gets that.
Right.
She gets the sound. Okay?
Fail horns.
Yeah, she definitely lost on that one, and it was all because of Matt Walsh talking trash about the women going up. And I think Candace was coming from the whole, well, if you're gonna talk about the ladies, well, the guys were fake too. So I think in one way she was trying to be like a sort of a feminist in it. But in the other side of it, just saying something that to me is kind of crazy.
She just needed something to say to piss people off.
Yeah, she did it.
It is.
She did it.
And that's what she does.
Yeah, she's good at it. She's great at it. She is great
exactly.
at it. Well, special
I think
shouts.
we need to starve the thirsty.
Yeah, and special shouts to Purple Groovy in the chat over there. And we're going to get into our last clip piece here. But yeah, Purple Groovy, this gong is for you. All right. Purple Groovy got about one more time to show up on these lives on time and consistently before you're about to get that wrench up in you. And I don't mean that in no nasty way. You know what I'm saying.
Right.
You know what I'm saying. I don't even know if Purple Groovy's male or female. So let's just say I'm not meaning that in any way sexually. Okay. I'm talking about the moderator wrench.
Well,
Jesus Christ. So, all right, let's get off of Candace because Candace definitely stepped way out there with that one. But you know, she's very pregnant right now too, so she's going through a hormonal imbalances.
That ain't no excuse.
Yeah, I'm just that's good. That's my Booski excuse for this one. Okay, I give the Booski excuse. This time is that she's pregnant. Okay.
No.
And if you don't take that as a reason, then you, sir, are being misogynist.
That's okay. That's great. That's fake and gay.
Believe women. Okay? Believe all women. All right? You know the rule, man.
Nope.
All right. So basically, we're going to get into this last piece and then we're going to get out of here because I asked the question on Facebook the other day to find out how people felt about the judges that were getting locked up. Okay? Pam Bondi, you know who Pam Bondi is. She's the Department of Justice lady. She decided to come on and talk for a minute about a particular judge and their obstruction of justice. So I wanted y'all to see the clip. We're going to have a quick convo about it and then we're out of here, okay?
And to set the stage for you and Sandra, this was truly horrific. This guy was in court being prosecuted by a state prosecutor for domestic violence battery.
Right.
He had beat up two people, a guy and a girl, hit the guy 30 times, knocked him to the ground, choked him, beat up a woman so badly they both had to go to the hospital. And John, you know, it's so rare for victims to want to cooperate. They wanted to cooperate. They were sitting in the courtroom with the state prosecutor. The judge learns that ICE was outside to get the guy because he had been deported in 2013, came back in our country, commits these crimes, charged with committing these crimes, victims in court. Judge finds out. She goes out in the hallway, screams at the immigration officers. She's furious, visibly shaken, upset, sends them off to talk to the chief judge. She comes back in the courtroom. You're not going to believe this. Takes the defendant and the defense attorney back in her chambers, takes them out a private exit and tells them to leave. While a state prosecutor and victims of domestic violence are sitting in the courtroom. And to set the
Okay, well, all right. So we're talking about this.
They're two separate things.
Well, this is what I'm saying. This is what Pam is talking about. She's saying that the reason why they had to lock this judge up is because the judge was setting people free because ICE was in the lobby of a court hearing. And then later on, they seem to find these people in the judge's houses. This is one she's talking about, but there's been like 3 of them in the past week. So I'm trying to figure out what's that about. What is this with harboring illegals? Is that the thing we're doing now?
No, that's not. First of all, these are outliers, so it doesn't. So it's not a pandemic of housing illegal people. What the thing is that's trying to be done is that due process is trying to be followed. Right? No matter what people want to do, because you have to admit people are being black bagged and moved out this country without due process.
True.
You do know that, right?
That is true.
Right. And so now that they're in a trial, they need, even for the victims, they need to finish this process. But if ICE is in the building to take them out, the process will not be finished.
That's a good way.
They're taking them away from ICE so they can finish the goddamn proceedings on the crime that they have been charged of doing. And so the judge is trying to see that justice is set and done properly without interference of the federal government. That's what's actually happening.
It makes sense to a degree, but why put the person in your house though? That seems like you're putting a lot on the line. Because
that's how much they care about that judicial process being processed through, actually happening. Because who else can you do? Where else can they put them? That the ICE just won't go and grab them. Where else can they actually put them?
Think about it. You ask a great question, but that's what I'm saying. Like, they know that if they put this person in their house, if somebody was to find that out, it would be bad for them. It would cost them their careers, as it seems like it might at this point. So why would you put that much on the line for some stranger in your courtroom? I mean, I get it. You're trying to hold up the judicial process, but...
Probably because you have a law background, you could probably defend it under some kind of statute of somewhere.
But not if you're in jail. Not from jail. You can't do the work if you're in jail. Like, you can't change the legislation if you're in jail. So if you go against it, how are you supposed to fix it if you're in jail?
Okay, so let's say this. Maybe, possibly, I do not know the law, but maybe there's a situation where because of the interference of the judge and the judge being interfered with, maybe the trial is put in some kind of stasis and can't proceed until it's actually moved to another judge. And then while that's being done, the judge can fight their case on what they're being arrested for. And then only until after that's done that they can finish the justice out for the illegal that is actually being prosecuted. I'm just saying, all this sounds boring as shit, but this is how systems work, and this is how shit remains fair.
Well, I get what you're saying, but why would you put your whole career on the line for that? Like, that's the part that's...
Because you believe in it that much. Because you believe in due process that much. They literally spent so much of their life in the law that they became a judge. True. So maybe that's the case.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just, to a degree, I don't think I would care that much about a strange person in the courtroom. That just, like, if ICE does something incorrectly, I might be able to fight that after the fact. But the second you put them in your house, it's like, now you're going to be locked up in the holding cell with them. So how can you help?
Well, okay. Well, let me ask you this. Well, let me help you understand. Were any of these judges black?
No.
That might help. That might help the understanding. You know what I mean? It could be a whole virtue signaling thing. It could be a civil disobedience. You know what I mean? It could be that kind of thing. I don't know.
All right. Well, I guess it's more of a question and answer then. Would you put your career on the line for?
No, because I'm a black man under this administration, and I know that if I get caught out there doing anything, that everything that I've spent the last 40 plus years building is going to go to shit. Because I don't have enough money to protect myself. So no, it wouldn't be happening for me.
Okay.
I wouldn't be doing that.
So that leads to the
somebody
question.
Somebody else might have that.
Yeah, that leads us to the question that brought this before me, which was, are people okay with judges being locked up for having illegal migrants stashed in their house? Or should the person just come snatch the migrant out and then that's it? Should the judges be going to jail for it?
If the judge is actually breaking the law, then I'm fine with the judge being arrested. But I do agree on. Here's the thing: we're not hearing actual reporting on the reasonings of the judges because I'm sure that these judges have made statements. Have you heard their statements? That's what I'm trying to say.
I'm gonna look
we have
into
to actually
that,
hear what
but I mean, what statement can you make? The person's in your house.
the things I was saying. The things I was saying.
Yeah, but
they're doing this.
It doesn't keep you from going to jail, though.
No, it's not about staying away from jail. It's about bringing attention to an issue.
Right.
It's kind of like why you sit in. It's kind of like why people got arrested for sitting at white counters. You know what I mean? Civil disobedience. You know what I mean? That's kind of what bringing attention to an issue. That's probably why they're doing it.
Well, we got Stephen Loftus in the chat says the judges need to go to jail when they break the law, but we're not telling the whole story. Somebody took their daughter's guns, gave them to MS-13, and they had suppressors on. Like I said, that's the details of the crime that the person was in court for or whatever reasons that they were being deported for. Our question for the podcast was more about, would you put your whole career, your last 40 years of work or however long that it took you to get to your whatever you are, not just a judge, but just you as a person, would you put that whole career on the line to try to stop someone from deporting an illegal migrant? So that was the question that was asked online. Like, would you, do you feel that strongly about it that you would do the same thing the judge did? That's what it is. Me personally, no. You got to go, bro. Sorry.
The first thing that Stephen Loftus said, I'm willing to talk about. But as soon as you bring in InfoWars, old dude, you kind of losing me there because he's already proven to exaggerate.
Alex Jones can exaggerate. But that's why I'm saying I don't want to get into the details of possible crimes committed. I want to keep it easy, which is this person's illegally here. ICE is waiting for him in the lobby. Do you take him to your house and put your whole career on the line? I say no. That's how I feel. Because if you don't know this person, it's just somebody that's in front of you, and you see, all right, ICE is over here about to take him. I don't really want him to be taken. How much am I willing to sacrifice for them to not take them? And me personally, I couldn't do it. I would not be able to do it. Hey, we're just gonna have to fight that battle while that person's in jail and I'm still in the judge's chambers doing my judge job or whatever job it is I got to do. So
look, all I'm saying is that sometimes if things are going wrong with society and the government is enforcing them, there may need to be some civil disobedience. We don't have the whole story. Right.
Well, that's why I can't get into the details.
No, but listen. Yeah, exactly. We don't know the whole story, but I will. So while I do not know the whole story, I will not become victim to hearsay either. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So the thing is that somebody who has practiced the law this freaking long to do something like this drastic, something drastic had to have happened or changed. Right? That is just obvious. We don't know what that is. But what I do know is that from my own experience and people that I'm talking to, because I know people in the education system, that at the very beginning of all this stuff, ICE was going into elementary schools and yanking kids out of class.
Right, and that was incorrect. Nobody like that. Nobody like that.
Exactly. So the thing is, but nobody knew about it until somebody was screaming and made place. Somebody did civil disobedience and blocked ICE out of the building.
That's my whole point. The judge is in a position to make real change, but they can't make any changes. Whatever their views are, they can't make any changes from in a jail. And you know you're going to be in trouble if you take this person and put them in your house. You're not going to change anything by doing that.
Once they send that person to another country where your jurisdiction is moot, you cannot reach into Ecuador, El Salvador, Central America as a New York, DC, whatever judge. You have no jurisdiction there. What difference can you make after it's already been done?
Exactly. So why put your whole career on the line for one person that you don't know and put them in your house?
What the thing is that they're being civilly disobedient to the rule of ICE just running in and stopping a whole case that is going. Let the case finish. Okay. It's not that they favor that the criminal. It's not that they favor the criminal. They favor the process. They want the process to finish.
I agree with your reference that being a lawyer and having known law, but it's like knowing that you can't just take them to your house and that's going to be the end of the story. You see what I'm saying? So you're going to be putting a lot on the line to even do that without a plan B or how this is really supposed to run. These judges
change takes risk. Change takes risk. That's just what it is. So if there's a problem and you have a mechanism to bring light to that issue, then you do it. Like, the thing is, you're trying to understand the same thing that other revolutionaries and people that just go protest do. Because I haven't protested because I care too much about my own shit. But there are people who don't care about their own shit and will go out there with these fucking signs and do all kinds of crazy shit.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But crazy shit is crazy shit. But why bring the person in your house? Like, why not put them up in a hotel if that's what you want to do? Why bring them home to where you're basically harboring a fugitive in your house? Like, there's no good way out of that. There's probably a law. There's probably a law that a judge is allowed to do extreme measures in order to keep the process of justice going through. Just like how judges are allowed to do wild ass sentences. It says you got to read this book 1,000 times in order for whatever. There's leeway. You know what I mean? There's probably laws for this shit, but I don't know this. So all I'm doing is creating the counter argument that actually kind of makes sense. So, you know what I mean? No, it makes sense that a person could feel a certain way and do extreme stuff. That makes perfect sense.
Yeah, I just don't want to stop at the I don't know. Like, why would anybody do that? I'm not going to stop at I don't know. I'm going to try to figure out why they're going to do that within a realm of that sense that makes sense.
Well, that's what I'm saying. What would make sense to me, like if I felt that strongly about it, I would tell them, all right, let's go back out the back door. I'll throw you 10,000 and you just go that way and I'm act like I didn't see you. But I'm not going to take you to my house. You see what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying I would do this. I'm just saying if
that's actually a crime, though. Giving somebody money, that's aiding and abetting. That's actually
but that's aiding and abetting if you bring them to the house. So you get the same thing. At least they're not at the house, though. That's what I'm saying. I don't want them at the house.
There's no money has exchanged hands. You know what I mean? There's no material goods have exchanged hands. You haven't given them anything. You haven't fed them. They could just be at your house. There's a lot of plausible deniability in a lot of that shit.
See, I had initially taken the angle of I thought the judges were under some other pressure. Like somebody threatened their family and said, if you don't take this person, then we're going to just take you're going to kill your family. And that would be enough for a person to do something like that.
We don't know that.
That's what I'm saying.
We don't know. Other side.
We don't know. But what I do know is, like, me personally, if I felt that strongly about it and I got some money, you know, I'm a judge money, hey, we could go through Cash App, Bitcoin, whatever the hell it is, but I'm not taking you to my house. You are not going to be eating my fucking food. You're not going to be around my kids. None of that. You see what I'm saying? So you can't keep them there forever. So even if you brought them there, what was the end game is what I was trying to figure out as to
none of us actually know. I am just saying that I'm just arguing the point that there could be a civil disobedience angle to this. I'm just arguing that rather than it's obviously got to be violence and this kind of thing. And there's
could be
it's just severed heads on cell phone pictures.
Okay. Hey, Stephen Loftus in the chat. We have no problems with the comments. We like the communication and the conversation. So it's good that you listen to Alex Jones and stuff like that. I listen to Alex Jones from time to time. I can't get through a whole episode with him, and it's really because he's got too much advertising going on. So I lose focus really fast, and if you do too much advertising, and he's got to do that because it's his own network, but a lot of times I'll tune in for one story, and that's it. I can't watch the whole thing. But that's fine. If you have objective opinions, that's why we're having this conversation, because we don't have the follow-up. And so I'm asking the why, because I'm trying to, you know me, I'm always trying to put my head in the space to say, if I was to make that same decision, what would have pushed me to make that kind of decision? And then I'm not saying I'm trying to be empathetic of the judge, but I want to understand like why a judge would put so much on the line for some random person in the courtroom just because they don't like the U.S. federal immigration policies. Like, it just seems like a lot to sacrifice for a stranger. That's all I'm saying.
And also, I'm just not a fan. You have every right. It's a free country as it stands right now. you're allowed to listen to whoever you want to. You're choosing to listen to us right now. We thank you for that.
Yeah, we
thank
do.
you for your time
Appreciate
and
it.
spending with
Appreciate
us.
it.
But what I am saying is that yeah, please do.
Hit the like button.
But what I am saying is that I am dubious of any purveyor of information that is 2 steps away from speaking of violence.
Right.
I am any purveyor of information, whether it be left, right, feminist, red pill, black pill, whatever, whoever it is, if they just say a thing and then right around the corner is something violent or insults, I am very dubious of the factual nature of their message.
Okay.
I will say that.
Well, I want to make sure that because we're getting ready to close out here before we get people wild over this thing. But the basic question that was asked was, are we okay with judges being arrested for having illegal criminals in their home? And for me, the answer was simple. It was, yeah, of course. But
all
why
of us say
they
yes.
had them there, maybe that'll come out later, but I believe that there's a lot of money exchanging hands. I don't think a judge just does that out of the kindness of their heart. I think that there's another motivation, whether it be monetary or violence, like you said, we don't want to get into, but just some other motivation other than I saw a guy come into the courtroom and I felt sorry for him. Like, because that's basically what we would be saying, to say, yeah, you saw a person come in, you saw ICE was out in the lobby, now all of a sudden you're feeling for the person who was in front of you for another crime. That's the criminal you're looking at. So it's not like they were just in the building working and ICE showed up. This person was in front of the judge for a crime. So they're letting them loose on that crime, and then because of that, ICE would have the detainer and come and take them. So for them to say, I'll take them to my house, my question was, well, are we okay with arresting judges for that? And we did get the answer to that. It seems like a general consensus that at minimum, everybody's okay with that. But we want to know more about why, like why people would put that much on the line, because I feel like there's way more to it than just the judge was feeling good that day and wanted to bring the person to their house. I really feel like that we're going to find something else behind this. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Yeah,
I just think that it would take a little more than me just seeing a person and be like, oh, that's messed up, for me to be like, yo, come to my house.
But I honestly think with the argument that I was presenting with, wanting to see the purveyance of justice continue, it almost has nothing to do with the criminal itself.
Right.
You know what I mean? It has more to do with the federal agency interrupting justice on a state level. And if we're talking about state sovereignty, which is a very, very red side argument, like, why would we allow that? Why aren't we cheering this? You know what I mean? Like, let's talk about it.
All right, well, we're gonna have to see where this one goes. I just want everybody to keep their eyes on it, because I believe this is the tip of the iceberg. Because recently, Pam Bondi had been talking a lot about arresting people, but I hadn't really seen anybody getting arrested. They would talk about fraud and Doge, and I didn't see nobody get arrested. So this is the first arrest I'm seeing go on. People have been fired, agencies have been closed. There's been a lot of talk, but this is the first arresting I'm seeing. So I think this is the beginning of a bunch of arrests, is what I think. And I don't know if we're going to find somebody that got a whole family stashed in their house. I don't know what we're going to find, but they're on the warpath about this immigration thing. So if you're a judge, I don't think you should be putting your whole career on the line when you know that they're right outside in the damn lobby. You know what I'm saying?
But I don't like that logic. If you feel you are right about something,
yeah,
and you feel like you need to speak to the government about that, I think you should exercise your right to speak for civil disobedience. I think you should, because if everybody's going to run around and be scared and tuck their tail every time they get threatened by the government, then we are never going to progress and get past some of this goofy shit.
I also agree with. I agree with you 100%. It's just me. I ain't putting my whole career on the line for no stranger in the courtroom. Nope. I can't see it happening. So that's why I'm looking for more of a reason than just empathy.
That's what I'm saying. This person is obviously smart, and they did this thing for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
So the thing is, like, this is a judge. This is somebody who went through 8 years of school and then in law school and a whole bunch of shit, was a lawyer for how many years and then they're not just dumb. They're not just gonna get in their fields and be like, you know what? I like that half mustache and that tattoo on the side of your face. I like the cut of your jib. Live with me. That's not what fucking happened.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's why I want to know what would drive a judge to do that. I'm hoping that we get real answers on that because I believe that there's way more to this than
I'm reading
meets
what's on the
eye.
screen, and that's what makes my argument make sense. I'm reading what's on the screen. FBI arrests Wisconsin judge for obstructing ICE arrest. That's what I see on the screen.
Right.
That's what they're allowed to report without being sued for libel. That's what I'm reacting to.
Okay. Well, like I said, I feel like if they put somebody in their house, they should be arrested for it. We'll see what happens in the future when these actual cases get to court and they start presenting whatever evidence for whatever it is they're talking about. Because they're talking about like treason charges and things like, national security level stuff because of it being an immigration thing. And it's a federal level charge as opposed to state.
Treason doesn't apply. Sedition doesn't apply. There are people who don't know the law or might be thinking that it might work, but people who do know the law know that shit does not apply.
Okay. Well, like I said, we gonna see. We gonna see on this one. All right. But the people seem to be at least in agreement that harboring illegal migrants in your house is not the greatest idea, especially if you're trying to stay out of jail and keep your job. So
it depends on what you want to do. It depends on the end goal, because it might be this might be a Rosa Parks moment. You never know.
It could be. So if that be the case, I'm sure we'll follow up on this story. We'll see, because it's all developing now. This is still new. They're arresting the judges and all this kind of stuff. But I will go back to my original thing from about 2 weeks ago that I didn't want this next Trump presidency to be a repeat of like all of the court dates and stuff, because they wasted so much time on court, and then he never got impeached really. Then he could run again. So it was like, what did we do all that court stuff for if it didn't really change anything? So I don't want them to do this again and just be doing court stuff for 3-4 years. Nothing changes, and it's just on to the next one. So I worry about that. But at this point, I just don't think the judges. I think they should find somebody else to do it. Get Soros to pay some of those random people to like house them in the hood where ICE might not want to go. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Put them in a black hood.
Oh my God. Yeah. Okay. Soros, really? There's more billionaires paying for the other side than it's just Soros.
Well, that's true, but his name comes up all the time. So I just mentioned it because it comes up all the time.
It's a punching bag. Literally, the billionaire is running Doge, yo. Like, he just spent $15 million on the election he lost. Like, if you're talking about people putting money out there, this asshole's already there.
Yeah.
Like, let's give it up. Let's leave Soros alone for a second, because the other obvious shit is already out there. Like, let's go.
Yeah, so we're gonna see. But I'll tell you right now, my bold prediction: in the course of the next 30 days, you're gonna see a lot more arrests of judges, anybody that stands in the way of what the Trump administration is trying to do. If you've got a legal doctrine and you're a judge and you're supposed to be following the law or whatever, they're going to flip that, and they're going to be arresting judges for just not even wanting to hear certain cases or bringing cases against them. They'll sue them for suing them, if that makes sense. That's what I see is about to happen. It's going to be a whole bunch of this legal crap and a bunch of long-ass congressional hearings where nobody answers any questions. They ask them questions, but nobody ever answers anything. It's a total waste of time. I get so fed up with this crap because they do it to us all the time. Now people are going to be stuck on this for weeks, talking about these judges. And at the end of the day, drugs will still be moving around this country, and people will still be coming and going.
It's all about distraction, man. It's all about distraction. You know what I mean? This is not, if you don't think this is orchestrated, then you know what I mean, I got a bridge to sell you.
Well, meanwhile, the U.S. is doing what they always do, which is messing with everybody else in the world. They're got their noses all in the Russia-Ukraine thing, and they're still beefing with China over tariffs, and we're still dealing with Canada issues. And so we got a lot of bigger fish to fry than whether or not judges are taking people in their houses, but to the same degree.
Exactly.
I just think it's like, is this the pattern? Like, are we going to find a whole bunch of judges have just been hiding, illegal people in the house? Like, I don't know if this is just going to open
I think that's a big leap right there, buddy. Huge leap.
Well, they're coming for everybody, man. They're coming for everybody. You put a case against the Trump administration, they'll sue you for like libel or slander or defamation. But I'm just talking about. I don't think it's an epidemic of judges holding criminals in their house. Like that's.
I'm gonna just say that's a big leap.
Yeah, that's the thing right there. That's what judges do. That's what they be doing, yo. They be keeping them in their house. But
why do you think they call it holding court? They holding them in their house.
Yeah, that's what they get. That's how they get down. You didn't know? They've been doing that for years. For years. And then they get them to be the wait staff in the house and to clean up and become the cleaning crew in the house. So I don't know, man. We're gonna see how this goes, but there's definitely gonna be some more arrests. I don't know if it's gonna be judges with illegals in their house, but I definitely know they're gonna start arresting people or trying to press charges against any of the state administrations that are trying to stop ICE from doing the federal deportations. It's low-hanging fruit.
Isn't that the point? Isn't that the whole the core Republican thing is states' rights, is not big government? Isn't that the whole point?
You're right about that. You are right about that. But in this case, like we are seeing, that ain't always 100%. If they don't want the states to just decide to keep illegal people around, they want that to be a national security issue. That's why he declared it a state of emergency, so that the federal government can do all types of stuff that's a little bit outside of the lines. And that's what's been going on. That's why he's trying to get the military at the border, the Alien Enemies Act, all that kind of stuff is really just to do more than what regular law would have allowed to be done in this situation. So we're dealing with extremes. We're dealing with extremes at this point.
We're dealing with a whole bunch of shit that costs us money.
Yeah.
Well, we're not building any dams. We're not putting any railways in.
No.
We're not rebuilding any of the infrastructure that we haven't touched in almost 100 years.
No.
So we're doing a whole lot of fucking icing on this cake.
Yeah.
And we're not eating any vegetables.
No vegetables at all. None. And the food's going to change anyway because RFK has said that we got to eat healthy now. So you got to do that.
Right.
So we'll see.
That's great.
We're going to see.
Says the man with the fucking brain worm that died in his brain. That's awesome.
Well, you know what? We've covered that. They said that the worm wasn't all the way in the brain. Okay, it's just partially in there, but it did die. You are correct about that.
It just got in there a little bit.
It just got in there a little bit, man. You ain't never had one of them.
It just ate a little bit of his brain.
Come on,
That's
Judge. Come on, Judge. So,
y'all on the damn.
All right. So, well, the judges are. We'll see where this one goes. But I'm gonna take it back to our full shot. I'm gonna close it out, and then we're gonna get up out of here because I feel like I've purged. So, bring it back. All right. Zoom cam full, and here we go. All right. I got to give my shout outs real quick to the folks that stopped in. Make sure you hit the like button, share the stream. YouTube is not sending out notifications right now, so only a few people are even aware. It's really people that are here all the time so they know the schedule, but the folks that don't know the schedule are not finding out about this wonderful educational and entertaining show called Purge of the BS. So I want y'all in the chat to help out with that. So let me give my shout outs and we're gonna get out of here. But do drop. Thank you for stopping in the chat. This gong is for you. We've got Pepsi Warren stopped in the chat. We had Stephen Loftus in the chat. Who else we had?
Legend.
Purple Groovy was there for a minute. Purple Groovy's about to get that mod wrench added. And let's see who else we had. And of course, I am Z and my man Al Bond, who is the captain of the moderating squad, also known as the Mod Squad.
Patrol.
Yeah. They troll the troll patrol. That's what they do. So we're gonna make sure that we keep this thing going. But I want you guys just keep your eyes on the headlines for the next couple of days, because I feel like this week it's going to be Pam Bondi and Kash Patel telling everybody we're about to arrest everybody for anything that has to do with anyone not agreeing with and working directly with the Trump administration to carry out whatever the hell he want to do this week. So I really don't think people should be throwing their careers away, but truth be told, I feel what Bravo was saying. If you feel that strongly about something and you're in a position to do something about it, you know what? You should do something about it. You really should. And if you don't do anything about it, Bravo, you already know. That, my friends, is some bullshit. And we out. You ready? Let's go.
Yeah, let's go.
Thanks, y'all. Appreciate it. All right, let me hit this and